Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and this is the all-new Google Pixel 9a. This release today, it starts at $499 for 128 gigabytes of storage, or $599 for 256. You'll see there's the obsidian color here, but we have 4 colors in total: iris, peony, porcelain, and then obsidian. Let's go ahead and open this up. That's the 128 gigabyte version, and we'll just pull back these tabs here. There we go. And then we can open the box. This is a fully recyclable packaging, just like they had with the 9 Pro. And let's open this up here and see what we've got. They only had one of these in stock at my local T-Mobile store, and no one else seemed to have it. Let's go ahead and remove the phone here, see what else we've got in the box. Let's see what we've got here. So it looks like we've got a SIM card removal tool on the back. We've got a support document, and basically your typical literature you get with a Pixel. Also inside the box, we've got a USB-C to USB-C cable. It's not braided, it's just sort of that silicone covered version, and that's it. So that's all we get with it, no charger or anything else. Let's set this aside, and then we'll open up the overall phone. So let's take off the cover here, wrapping, and you'll see it sort of outlines where different things are. The power button, volume, we'll take a look at that in a moment. There we go. And here's the phone itself. So overall, pretty nice. It looks like it almost has zero camera bump, but it does have a little bit of a camera bump. So if I set it down, it does not seem to rock though, as I push left and right on it. So that's really nice to see. And as far as the overall design, it's 100% recycled aluminum as far as the housing, or aluminum, depending on where you're from. A satin metal frame, which is really nice. And then composite matte back. So it's 6.6 ounces or 0.19 kg. Then on the bottom, we have a USB-C 3.2 port, along with a microphone, speaker, and SIM card tray. Let's go ahead and remove the SIM card tray, take a look at it here. And this allows for one SIM card and then also an eSIM. So you can use those as dual SIMs, and you'll see that here. We have a little gasket around it. We'll place that back in. On the right-hand side, we have a power sleep wake button, our volume button. On the top, we have one microphone, it looks like, and some antenna lines. And then on the other side, we don't have anything at all. Again, on the front, we've got a camera. We'll talk about that in a moment, and then the camera on the back. But the matte finish is really nice on this phone. As far as compared with other Pixels, well, you can see the Pixel 9 Pro XL right here. Gives you an idea of overall size. So it's somewhere in between the Pixel 9 and 9 Pro XL, or 9 Pro and 9 Pro XL, overall size-wise. It's pretty comparable, but I do like this matte finish, and you can see it goes a little bit above the camera bump there. Compared to the Fold as well, I do have that. So here's the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, gives you an idea of overall size there. So it's more comparable to that size as far as the overall size and dimensions. Again, a little bit narrower, but we don't have the hinge for the Fold. As far as compared with Apple's latest phone to compete with it, well, it's a little bit bigger. You'll see here's the 16E or iPhone 16E next to it. Very similar in color. Overall dimensions, and the overall finish is just ever so slightly different, but overall very similar in size. But we have a lot more to offer, it seems, with the Pixel 9a. Now let's go ahead and turn it on, and we'll talk more about the display here in just a moment. So we'll turn it on for the first time, if it's going to turn on here. We'll try it again. Maybe it needs a charge, so again, we'll give it a moment. There we go, it finally turned on. So we'll let it boot up. You'll see the Google animation here, powered by Android. And we do have Android 15 that comes with it. So again, we'll give it just a moment to boot up here. And this has a 6.3-inch Actua display. It's a 24-bit display, 20:9 aspect ratio, 1080 by 2424 pixels at 422.2 pixels per inch. It's a 60 to 120 hertz display, has 1800 nits of brightness for a peak brightness of 2700 nits, and has Corning Gorilla Glass 3 on it. We'll get it set up here in just a moment, but we'll wait for it to boot up. There we go. We've got some nice haptic feedback to go along with this bounce here, and then we'll go ahead and tap Get Started. We can set it up using another device. I'm actually using the 9 Pro Fold here, so we'll set it up with that. Now, screen-wise, it looks pretty good, but it has a fairly thick bezel on it, if you can see there. Compared with the 9 Pro Fold, the bezel's fairly thick, so that gives you an idea side by side. Overall, a little bit thicker than I would expect, but overall, it looks like a nice display as far as the specs go. We'll check for PWM a little bit later, though. Now it wants me to set up the fingerprint unlock. We'll go ahead and tap more and then get this set up. So you'll see how to set it up. We'll tap start, and then we just place our finger in the middle of the screen like the other pixels. So on the fold, it's on the power button. Everywhere else, it's on the display itself. So change the position here and we'll get this set up. So there we go. I've added the fingerprint. We'll tap next. We can use face unlock if we want. We can tap I agree. We'll set up start, and you'll see here it says set up your head, tilt it up, tilt it down, and then we're good. It says looking good. Now you can use your face to unlock your phone, and then we'll tap done. We can copy data from this device. We'll do that. And now it says continue setting up on your new device here. So again, we'll give it just a moment to set this up and get everything connected. We'll go ahead and set it up in express mode, and it says copying your data. Now it says discover Google AI at its best. So we have Gemini, Circle to Search, Add Me, and Studio, and everything we get with the 9 Pro. We'll tap next. And then it says get to know Gemini, your AI assistant. Next, it's telling us we have car crash detection as well as crisis alerts, and we have more in the personal safety app. We can use Google Pay. We'll skip that for now. And it says anything else. Do we want to set up maybe auto adjust settings to the environment, change how text is displayed, set up an always on display, which is always nice to have, and maybe auto adjust for the environment. We have adaptive sound, adaptive vibration. So we'll try that as well and tap done. So we can adjust these later on as well. We'll tap next. And it says still copying. So it says about 6 minutes left. I'll let this copy and then we'll continue. So copying completed fairly quickly. 117 apps were copied along with all the different files. It says copying is done on this phone. So I'll go ahead and move it over to the side and tap done. It says getting your phone ready. This may take a few minutes. Now it says all set. You're ready to start using your device. We'll swipe up. And now it's copied everything over. Now it still needs to move over some of the apps. You'll see not everything's signed in, but we have the basic setup here. Again, you can see the bezel, which is fairly thick overall, but in general, this should be a pretty comprehensive phone with some very nice features. Now, first, before we take a look at the in-depth features, let's take a look at PWM, as most phones that have an OLED display have this, so let's take a look. The phone does seem to be utilizing PWM. You can see it flickering here at 240 frames per second in slow motion. However, this shouldn't bother most people's eyes as it's fast enough that you can barely see it here. However, if you're sensitive to PWM, it's definitely not going to be as fast as maybe a Samsung S25 Ultra, or even something such as a OnePlus 13. So it could bother your eyes, make you feel nauseous, or just give you eye strain, or give you headaches. However, most people don't experience that. Now, as far as overall settings, you'll see everything's installing here. We'll go ahead and go into our settings, and let's see what version's available and if it's been updated at all. I did turn this on to dark theme, but it keeps switching back, probably due to some setup here. So we'll go into display. Let's switch it back here. There we go. And we'll take a look at what we have for system. So you'll see it says pending updates. So it's installing now. We have an 82 megabyte update. And if we take a look at what's currently installed, so we'll go down here, we'll go back, go down to About Phone. You'll see we have the January 5th security update. So it's going to install the latest one, hopefully, maybe the April one. It may be March. We're not really sure at this point. Now, as far as a few other specs I wanted to mention, it has a 30+ hour battery life according to Google. It has a 5100 milliamp hour battery, so larger than even the 9 Pro XL, and fast charging up to 23 watts when using the 45 watt Pixel charger. It also has Qi, but not Qi 2, and charges at 7.5 watts wirelessly. So I have an ESR charger here. If I place it here, it won't hold it, but it is charging it. You'll see it's charging in the upper right, and it seems to be working just fine wirelessly. Internally, we have a Google Tensor G4 with 8 gigs of RAM, not 16 like the Pro. We also have Wi-Fi 6E, not Wi-Fi 7, unfortunately, and Bluetooth 5.3. However, this should be plenty fast for most people. When it comes to the cameras, well, we still have pretty great cameras known from Google. So we have a 48 megapixel f1.7 wide, a 13 megapixel f2.2 ultra wide. There's no telephoto, but we do have super res zoom up to 8x, and then also 4K 60 video, macro, 10-bit HDR, and slow-mo up to 240 frames per second. The front-facing camera is a 13 megapixel f2.2 camera. If we go into the camera settings here, you'll see we have an update. So let me update all of these. We'll take a closer look at some of the features we have as well. Also, we have IP68 as far as the overall water resistance, typical to what we had before. Now everything's been updated. It took a little while, but if we go into our settings, go down to our system here, take a look at software updates, we're updated to the latest version, April 5th, 2025. So that's great to see. All the apps have been updated. And if we go into the wallpaper, it's what you would expect. Everything's fast and fluid, of course. And then, of course, we have community and everything else, our curated wallpapers and more. So lots of things. Of course, we can use the AI generated wallpaper as well. As far as the overall smoothness, well, it's definitely very smooth and fast. The 120 hertz display is great. And as far as everything else, of course, you've got your different apps, weather, and more. However, when it comes to other features, well, let's go into the camera as we started there before. If we spin it around, go to video, go to our settings, you'll see that we have 4K, but it doesn't look like we have 60 frames per second. If we spin it around this way, we can go in and see 4K 60. And then we have speech enhancement, which says it's unavailable. So it says it can't be used unless you're in 30 frames per second. Let's go ahead and spin this around, or we'll go back here and spin it around, go into video. And now we're recording from the front-facing camera of the new Pixel 9a. This gives you an idea of what it looks like, what the microphone sounds like compared to the one we've been using, the studio mic, and just shows what it's capable of. So let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Of course, we don't have 4K 60 on the front-facing camera, but we have all the features you would expect from the rear-facing camera. Now, with the AI features, Gemini is way ahead of what we have on an iPhone. So if we press and hold the power sleep wake button, and then we go to share screen with live, so we can share the entire screen or share one app. We'll share the screen and then go in here. What do you see here?
I see a cute little plant pot with legs and a face. It's got a succulent in it, and it looks like you're about to take a photo. Anything I can help you with?
How about this?
Okay, I see the green Android figure now. Are you trying to get the perfect shot of it? I can help with that.
What phone do I have in my hand here?
That's a Pixel 9 you've got there. It's got a great camera. Do you have any questions about it?
Which version Pixel 9 is it?
That's the Pixel 9 Pro you've got there. It's a great phone with a fantastic camera. Are you thinking of taking some photos with it?
How about this? What box is this for?
That's the box for the Google Pixel 9a. Are you setting it up? I can help you find info on that.
So we can stop sharing, and that gives you an idea of what you can do just live. Of course, you can use Gemini Live, talk to it, go back and forth. You'll see if we go in here, we're back in and we'll just stop. So you'll see everything here that it talked about. And of course, we can get rid of that. We have some privacy information as well. If we want to get rid of those things, we can. But it's great that it was able to tell what those specific things were. And that's something that we don't get on many other phones. Of course, Apple allows things such as the S25 Ultra to have some of those features. And that's just pretty great. Put it in front of maybe a pantry and say, what can I make out of these particular items here? And it works really, really well. So those things are great. Of course, we have all the Gemini tools. We've got Gemini built in and all of the different editing tools for photos. So if we go into photos, and you can see this is a photo I took when I was at Google for the S25 event. I went out to the Google campus to check it out. And if we go to edit, of course, we have all of the different features you would expect here. It takes a second to go into edit. And then of course we have our magic editor here. So we can discard what's already been done, go into Magic Editor, go into Try It Now, and you can see not sure what you want to do, try Magic Edit. So we'll go ahead and auto frame it. That's something that's built in. It will generate some auto frames of what we already have, and then we can change the image further. So it reframed it. It actually zoomed out a little bit or zoomed back in. So that's pretty impressive. We can hit X and go back out. Go back in, we can have it look like golden hour. We can stylize it. Let's change the sky here and let's see what it does. So lots of great imaging editing tools or image editing tools. Again, it changed the sky. If you want it more dramatic, you can use that or just go back to normal. If we cancel, of course, we've got crop, and then we can use the other tools such as unblur or magic eraser. If we want to get rid of something, again, give it a second to process here. And then maybe we'll get rid of this Android right here. Give it a second and it should get rid of it. And it does a really great job overall compared to other editors I've seen. So now you never really think that it was there, and it's missing the other Android. So this is something that's really impressive, available on any Pixel 9a. Of course, you have all the other things that are available on a Pixel phone and all the other security things to go along with it. All the same options, always on display, and much more. When it comes to the speakers, we do have a speaker here at the very top, a very small speaker, and then one at the bottom. I thought we'd take a quick listen, see how loud they go as well. Now the overall speakers sound okay. They did go very loud, up to 90 decibels, very close to the bottom speaker. However, the sound is a little bit tinny, not super rich as far as the overall sound or bass, but it would get the job done whether you're watching a video, a YouTube video, listening to some music, but definitely not as good as some others I've heard as well. And so that's the Pixel 9a. It has all of the different features you could want from the Pixel 9 Pro as far as software goes. You're just lacking a few different things with RAM and some of the camera options. Of course, you could go with the Fold with more options there, but it's 3 to 4 times the cost here. If you want a budget phone, this seems like a great option, especially if you maybe wanted to try switching from an iPhone. The 16e is okay, but it doesn't have anywhere near the software features of the Pixel 9a. Let me know what you think of it though in the comments below, and if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.